Chicago just added a boundary wrecker. Josh Sweat is a Bear, and the double Sweat Edge duo is officially on the menu. Hit like and subscribe right now because this changes the math on every passing down long arms, closing throwing lanes, first step explosion dent in the corner, and a rotation that keeps the rush humming deep into December. Line him opposite Montez Sweat and watch protection slide the wrong way. Bring 5 and drop 1 or rush 4 and win anyway. Field position flips. The defense gets off the field and the offense gets shorter drives. This is how you turn close Sundays into wins. Let's talk about what that looks like in real time, not theory. First series, 2nd and 7, the opponent tries to bounce wide to avoid the big bodies inside. Sweat locks out with inside hands, sees through the runner, sheds, and spills the play into help. 3rd and long arrives, the call sheet opens, and Chicago gets the dictate. Next snap, he widens his track while Montez compresses from the other side. The tackles hesitate for a heartbeat. The interior sets a simple pick, and the quarterback feels the pocket tighten before the route is ready. To break, ball out early, rally tackle, punt. Boring on the surface, brutal in effect. Aaron Glenn does not need to dial more blitzes to create more heat. He needs rushers who win on time so the disguise can do the rest. Sweat gives you that. He strings moves with veteran rhythm speed too. Power when tackles set soft, long arm to rip when they overset, and a sudden inside counter when their feet die. Paired with Montez's length and non-stop motor, Chicago can stress both edges without sacrificing structure. That matters for the back end. When the ball leaves a beat sooner, corners are not stuck covering routes for a lifetime. Safeties can. Play with honest depth and still fit the run, and linebackers get clean run-through lanes instead of traffic jams. The whole unit breathes in sync. You will feel it on early downs too. Chicago has spent too many snaps living in 2nd and 9 because offenses found soft edges and forced on tackles. Sweat's first step and wingspan changed that math. The stretch that used to glide for a quiet 5 now dies at 2. The headset stays patient and the defense keeps its whole plan alive. Small wins stack until the game tilts. You will notice it against every rival in the division. Green Bay's tackles are long and disciplined, but a rusher who marries speed to power keeps them from relaxing into easy sets. Minnesota loves to mix protections and release backs quickly. A pair of ends that dent the pocket on schedule steals those outlets and funnels, throws into tight windows. Detroit wants to mash inside and throw off heavy play action. Edges that set firm and squeeze the boot path cancel the shortcut. This is not a theory session. It is the practical stuff that changes third quarters. When the wind kicks up and the script gets tight. Third down packages will feel different. With Sweat and Montez aligned wide, Chicago threatens width without losing integrity inside. Sometimes a walked-up backer will tease the gap just long enough to scramble slide rules, but the rush will still be 4 bodies winning 5-on-5. Other times the ends swap late, the tackle stem, and a free hitter appears without sending. The house. That is sustainable pressure. That is how you close a quarter without gassing the group. Red zone impact is quiet but brutal. Near the goal line, negative plays do more damage than pretty sacks. A single tackle for loss on 1st and goal cuts the offense's menu in half. A hurry on 2nd and 5 becomes 3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and 2. Sweat's control of the arc keeps quarterbacks from sprinting to open grass, which is how broken plays die. Force the ball out on schedule into the tight window you built, and you trade 7 for 3. That is modern defense. Caleb Williams will field this from the sideline. Short fields change how a young quarterback grows. When the defense hands him the ball near midfield, the coordinator can call with freedom, not fear. 2nd and 7 can be a run, a quick throw, or a shot, and none of those choices feels like a gamble. That is how complementary football turns into confidence that survives bad weather and loud buildings. Practice habits win in the fall. Veterans with real plans bring standards to the room. Sweat has lived in a front that demands timing, hand discipline, and finish. That carries into Tuesday rush plan meetings, into Wednesday reps where the scout tackle has to set honest, into Thursday where tight ends learn the hard way that lazy chips will not fly. Those are boring details. They are also the reason November looks clean and December looks mean. There will be questions, and they are fair. How do the Bears manage snaps so the rush is still fresh late? The answer is rotation and clarity. Roles are defined, pitch counts make sense on short weeks, and the staff will ramp for games that decide seeding. What happens when teams throw their entire plan at the edges with chips, nudges, and slides? Chicago will answer with games inside, with early down stops that lengthen third downs, and with disguise that makes protection calls wrong before the ball is snapped. Patience is power when the rush wins on schedule. Look for small tells on TV if you want to spot the change fast. Right tackles whose feet stop chattering on true pass sets usually fear the long arm. Tight ends who release late and low are being forced to hit the end before they can be a safety valve, which delays checkdowns and steals rhythm. Empty looks disappearing on big downs means offenses are keeping a helper in, and your coverage unit gets to squeeze routes with an extra body back. Even the crowd reveals the shift. Third downs start buzzing earlier because the stadium learns the timing of the rush. The best part is how this looks the same in Week 1 and Week 15. Technique travels, long arms in the lane make passing windows narrow. A strong inside hand steals the corner. A flattening angle erases perfectly drawn rollouts. Even when sacks do not land, the structure changes the quarterback's clock. He hurries a hitch, he throws a hair behind a crosser, he sails an out because he cannot step through. Those are turnovers waiting to happen when cold air makes the ball slick and timing brittle. Watch the run fits grow up too. A hard edge forces cuts where help is sitting. Safeties arrive square. Pursuit angles are calm. A 2-yard stop on first down changes how the next 2 plays feel for everyone. Suddenly a coordinator has a full page of options again, not a thin strip of hope calls. It seems small until you see a quarter vanish because the opponent never escapes second and long. This pairing with Montez matters beyond brand value. 2 edges who win differently force offensive lines to communicate perfectly. One wins long, one wins with arc control. Both collapse pockets on schedule. That is a headache. And it frees the interior to attack instead of babysit. When 4 rushers move like one, quarterbacks cannot find the seam and escape. The play ends on your terms. There is a locker room angle, too. A defense believes in itself when it can name its closer. 2 minutes left, 1 score up, ball near midfield. Everyone in the huddle knows how the story is supposed to end. That belief is earned by repetition. Sweat adds more of those reps to the cut-up that coaches show on Wednesdays. Players feel it. Fans hear it in how the crowd rises earlier on third down, because the timing of the rush becomes part of the stadium's rhythm. So what does week by week look like? Week 1, the first third and long ends with a hurried throw because the pocket pinched just as the route wanted to break. Week 2, a boot that used to hurt Chicago gets squeezed back into help and turns into a check-down tackle in bounds. Week 3, a 4-minute drill on the road dies because a second down run gets spilled, and the clock becomes the Bears' friend. None of this needs speeches. It needs edges who do their job with the same violence in the 5th-10th drive as in the first snap, and a staff that trusts the plan enough to keep calling it. Late-season football in Chicago demands a certain style. Wind, breath, and field position rule. An end who closes space and steals steps from tackles is worth points without ever touching the ball. That is why this move makes sense in a city that loves defense with a backbone. It fits the weather, the division, and the way this roster is being built around a young passer who benefits from shorter fields and calmer game states. The cap and the calendar will line up because the plan is grown up. Incentives reward availability and production. Practice plans protect Sunday. Snap counts flex with opponent and situation. Nothing here needs hype. It needs honest work, and Sweat has been doing that for years. Stick with us as we track the first month with simple cut-ups and clear language. If you value straight talk, hit like and keep the alerts on, because we will show exactly how Chicago is using this duo to tilt downs and steal possessions. We will keep it honest when something needs fixing, and we will point out the little gains that add up to wins. Now the clarity you deserve, placed only at the very end. As of this moment, there is no official team announcement, no jersey photo, and no press release. This channel runs a rumors and speculation window, where we break down the hottest moves on the board and give you our best read on fit and impact. This is that segment. My personal view is simple and comes from the tape and from years of watching cold games. I love the way this fit plays at Soldier Field. It is practical, it travels, and it gives the defense a closing gear that wins one. Score games in this division now.